Welcome, my name is Maciek, and this video I'm showing you the top 5 beaches in Sarasota. If you're coming to visit, if you're coming to move, if you're thinking about moving, check out. These are my personal favorite. I've been living here since 1992. I'm a real estate agent since 2004. Let me know if you have questions. Let's get started. Number 1, Siesta Key Beach, where I'm at right now. Look at this sand. Falls right through my fingers. This is 99% quartz crystal, broken down from the Appalachian Mountains apparently, and it made its way all the way down to this area, which is one of the reasons why this is the #1 beach in the United States. So I'm going to link a video of all the beach access points. Click on the little tag above here, and it shows everywhere you can park and everywhere you can actually access the beach. And what's super cool about Siesta Key is that it has 12 beach access points plus a couple parks, and I am at one of the parks right now, the main beach access point. It is pretty busy. Let me turn this around, show you what is going on. Plenty of people playing frisbee, playing music, having fun. Now, Siesta Key has 7 miles of beaches, and one is only better than the other. There's not a single spot here on Siesta Key that you will be disappointed on, which is why it's my #1. Not only are there so many beach access points, but there's also a couple of areas that us locals like to go to and kind of sneak out and be alone away from the big crowds. So if you want to know what that is, give me a call. So the main Siesta Key beach access has a lot to offer. Not only are there some picnic tables, there's also a long walkway back there. And if you're handicap accessible, so if you have a wheelchair or something along those lines, there's a really, really long little boardwalk that they created for those situations. Also, there's a little restaurant, there's bathrooms out here, there's plenty of parking. If you look right behind me on this side here, this is all parking, and there's so much more back there, literally hundreds of spots. I think it's 904 spots if I remember correctly. And if you're planning a party, they do have gazebos that you can reserve, and I think a couple of them are paid. There are 2 that have electric plugs, so you can hook up some radios or lights or something, and then the rest are without electricity. Plenty of parking spots for bicycles. This is really the #1 beach in the nation, and there's a reason. Okay, now we're at my #2 favorite beach in Sarasota, and that is Lido. So Lido Beach is actually a very long beach, and right now my specific area that I like is the northern part of it. It is not South Lido Park. So if you keep driving down the road, you're going to eventually dead end into South Lido Park. And just to show you where the beginning of what I like is if you look at this house right here, this house is a new construction that was built about a year or 2 ago, and it looks like a sailboat. So that right there is the marking point, and if you just keep walking right, which is north, you're going to get to my favorite part. One thing about Lido Key is, first of all, you can walk the St. Armand Circle from right here. And St. Armand Circle is basically it's a tourist trap, but it does have lots of restaurants. It has ice cream shops. It has nice boutique galleries and shopping. It's a really nice place to come to. If you're in Sarasota, definitely check it out. But as a local in Sarasota, the reason why I like North Lido Beach is because of how quiet it is. It's so secluded. You don't even have to walk that far. So right now, I'm just on my way to kind of show you the difference, and I'm going to fly the drone around a little bit, kind of show you how quiet it actually gets. This area used to be, way back in the day, probably right around the time when I moved here, which was in 1992, it was a topless beach. And even further before that, there was a Lido Beach casino here too. But that's no longer the case. Now we're all family friendly and don't have to worry about anything like that if you have young children. Another thing to note is that the landscape here changes. So if you look behind me, you can see a lot of the grass growing and so on, little sand dunes forming. And I'll tell you, 3 years ago, it looked different. 10 years ago, it looked way different. This was all sand dunes with no grass growing. So the geography here does change a little bit. If you look at some old drone footage from people, you'll kind of see it's very different than it is now. Also, just because of how nature has it, the water kind of gets a little shallow on the northern part here. It's also a great place to come and bring a boat. If you have a boat, or if you're part of a boat club like I am, you can come and throw down the anchor really close to the beach. A lot of people do that, especially where it's really secluded, and kind of do your own thing, you know, in peace and quiet, and get out of here when you're done. On the northern side here is New Pass. So New Pass is one of the two main access points in this area. There's another one down south, the Venice Jetty, where you can go from the intercoastal waterway all the way out to the Gulf of Mexico, which is right here. So, you know, I basically parked where these two big buildings are here. And if you park here and you start coming out this way and start walking north, you know, the beach does get kind of narrow over here. However, there are a few footpaths that go out to where the trees are over here. And that is a county park. It's actually quite a big county park. So if you like to just go and take a walk by yourself in a little peace and quiet, or ride your bicycle, you can do that over there. And there's a few different paths to take, a few different loops you can do, some areas to sit down and relax, and it's really a pleasant place. Now, my favorite part, being the North Lido beach here, does not have amenities. You know, we don't have any kind of bathrooms or showers or anything. The parking is right here on the street, and you kind of got to walk out there. However, just, you know, not even half a mile this way, I mean, I can walk there, that's how close it is the main public beach access to Lido Beach. Plenty of parking there, lifeguards and so on. There's a lot going on. Frankly, I never go there. It's always busier than I like, the times that I like to go, and I prefer solitude. So if you're like me, come check this place out here. Now, one last thing I'll say about Lido Key here is that on the southern tip, there is a big park, and I do go there. Usually I go there for, you know, a birthday party, or if we want to go and kayak a little bit. You want to go into a big nature trail that's surrounded by water. Very, very nice area. That's South Lido Park. There's another park called Ted Sperling Park, which is a kayak launching type of park. Lots of places where you can rent kayaks over there, like vendors, you know, that always prop up and set up there. There's a little bit of parking over there too. But in general, Lido Key is amazing. And don't forget, of course, check out St. Armand's Circle. All right, number 3 on my list is Turtle Beach. And Turtle Beach is actually located on Siesta Key. It's one of the 3 beaches on Siesta Key, and it's on the southern point. So it actually meets with Casey Key, if you're familiar with that, where multi-million-dollar houses are for sale. So take a look. This is Turtle Beach. One of the things that I really, really love about this area is the kayaking amenities and the boating amenities that they offer. So not only are there 2 boat ramps, but also there's a kayak launching area, which is in the same spot actually. And that same spot, there's also 3 fishing piers if you like to fish. And that access point goes out to the intercoastal waterway, but just on the other side, right behind me, is the beach itself. And Turtle Beach also has other amenities. So for example, we have a whole area for tots to play, a little playground area for the little ones, plus numerous gazebos and numerous places where you can go and wash off your feet, just like this area right here. And one more thing that's really nice about Turtle Beach is the parking situation. There are quite a few parking spots, including if you have a boat trailer. So the boat trailer spots, probably about 20 of them, and then the rest are parking for cars and so on. Also, if you kind of get the parking right at the entrance, which is far away from the boat ramp area, you have a secondary kayak launching area, which is coming up right here. Let me kind of show you what that looks like. It also has a kayak washing area, so there's running water here and you can wash off your kayak. And right here is just a nice gradual walk into the water. And this here leads you out to the intercoastal waterway. So if Turtle Beach is your favorite or one of your favorites, please comment below. I would really appreciate it. Just let me know what you love most about this area. Is it the fact that it's kind of secluded, or is it all the amenities? What is it that stands out for you? Okay, my number 4 spot on the best beaches in Sarasota is Longboat Key, but I'm going to show you a very specific place, not only to park, but to go. Why? Because it's dead over there, and I love it when it's quiet and dead, as I've mentioned already. So first of all, you're going to park at 501 Bay Isles Road, I believe it is. And as you can tell, this is where the Longboat Key Town Hall is. Also right across here is Bicentennial Park, so it's pretty easy to find. And in this parking lot here is over 40 spots. And this is the alternate parking situation of the main beach access point, which I will show you. This is actually the way to the beach access. So let's walk over there while I talk a little bit about Longboat Key. So Longboat Key has a lot of parking spots. If you actually want to know all the places to park, check out this video here, because in this video I recorded every single beach access point and every single parking spot that you can use on Longboat Key. So as I'm kind of popping out here, you know, Bicentennial Park is right here behind me, and just a quick short walk over here is the public beach access. I believe it's 2825 Gulf of Mexico Drive, and that is the first like southernmost point of Longboat Key where you can publicly access the beach. Everything before that, it's a little past Publix, by the way. Publix is down south of me just by a little bit, but everything else is kind of like private beach area. So it's owned by the condos and so on. So first of all, be careful crossing the road here. Second, if you're a bicycle rider, you will have a bike path here on the side. Now let's cross safely. Just 2 lanes over here. And the main public beach access point has 3 parking spots, which is why I go park over there. There's always a spot. I've literally never been here in 30 years. I haven't been to that area with no parking spots. There's always something available. But what I really love about Longboat Key is that it is really quiet. The northern part of it, the northern tip of Longboat Key, gets a little busier. But this area here, it's so quiet. Let me turn the camera around, kind of show you what's going on here, how many people there are, and the beautiful beach. And let's start by kind of seeing really how many people there are here. There's 1 couple here, there's 2 people walking down here, 1 person here, 3 here, and really, as you can tell, these are just single family homes. There's some small old ones, and there's a couple new construction over here, or more modern construction. This beach access point is seldom used. It's very rare for me to see a bunch of people here. I mean, extremely rare. So this is my number 4 spot. Come check it out. And don't forget to check out the parking at Longboat Key video that I did for 2023. And one last thing before we go to my number 5 spot is please like this video. This video, I have traveled all around Sarasota to show you specifically what I love. And if you appreciate that, I would appreciate just 1 thumbs up or 1 like on this. And feel free to comment. I reply to every single comment personally. So right now, let's go to my number 5 spot. And I am here, my number 5 favorite beach in Sarasota, Casperson Beach, the shark tooth capital of the world. So Casperson Beach is one of 3 beaches on Venice Island, and it is the one that's furthest most south. So you do have to kind of drive real far south once you get onto Venice Island. It's not really that far actually, and there's plenty of parking. I'm at the first parking spot right here. It's like a little nook of a bunch of parking, and then just a little further down there's even more. But this beach goes on for a while. There's a lot of spots out here. There's also two different facilities to use. There's areas that have rocks. There's areas that are just sand and beach. And it's really just kind of unique to the area. Take a look kind of behind me. Maybe I'll point a little this way. As you can see, there's a lot of rocks right at the shore. So this beach here, Casperson Park, is pretty well known. Right next to it, just a little bit north from here, is also Brohard Paw Park, which is a pet park, and you can bring your dogs over there. And then there's, of course, the regular Venice Beach. Now there's plenty of places to set up a little tent, to have a little birthday party. There's picnic tables, there's a bike path and a walking path, and there's even a little place for a kayak launch, which is really nice as well. Overall, what I like about it is that it's really unique. It's really different than the rest of our beaches here in Sarasota. So this beach is one to check out if you're coming to visit, definitely. And one thing that you may enjoy about this beach is that, you know, right where the parking lot ends, which is kind of like by the little dock over there. It's not a dock, it's just a ramp actually for wheelchair accessible people. But if you keep walking further down that way, which is south, there's less and less and less people. So once again, a nice quiet part of Sarasota, and this is one of the reasons why I love this beach. You really do get the feel of old Florida here. It's really untouched land. Well, slightly touched, but it's basically like untouched land. So if you've enjoyed this series of my favorite 5 beaches in Sarasota, please comment, please click a like. I really want to hear your thoughts, what you thought of this video. Thanks so much. If you have any questions, reach out to me. My number's at the bottom.